What is going on, guys? It is Ahmed, and I am back today with yet another update for you all on Zomedica, ticker symbol ZOM, one of our favorite plays. We've been in on this one since 44 cents a share. So congratulations for everyone who's made a killing. You've 5x your initial investment. But remember, guys, my videos are not for financial advice, rather for entertainment and educational purposes only. Now, before I dive deep about the direct offering that they recently had, and finally, again, the direct offering has closed. It is complete. So now I'm hoping we're going to see an upwards trajectory for Zomedica till at the very least the launch of the true forma and even moving forward from there. So again, I'm going to kind of talk about how we're going to play Zomedica for the next month and a half, 2 months. It is on my 1K to 10K penny stock challenge. We all established a position for anyone that's in on the challenge. I started a position yesterday with that portfolio at $2.21 a share, and we've seen it, kind of climb back up a little bit. But again, today it's kind of normalized. So we'll talk about the price action in a little bit. But I do want to give a quick shout out to the Patreon members. Guys, the Patreon is where I'm able to update everyone on plays that I'm buying live, real time. Because unfortunately, I do work and I can't make my videos typically during the day, rather at nighttime. As you all know, that's my current upload schedule, except on Fridays and the weekends. But again, we're at 122 members strong, so I appreciate everyone that has been supporting the journey. Again, it does come with additional benefits, but we do have the free Discord, so feel free to use the free Discord if you'd like. I just created a community for all of us to talk about all things stocks and finances. We have great people in there that know a lot more than I do about the stock market. Dave, shout out to you. Rocky Finance, another guy that has been helping us a lot, one of the admins, and so is Dave. So shout out to both of them. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and talk about Zomedica. So let's talk about institutional ownership. One of the biggest things that we need to always appreciate is, what are the big dogs doing? What are the people who have, these hedge funds? How are they playing Zomedica? And we could see here, with the dip that came in the last few days, a lot of them increased position or started brand new positions. So anything that you see in green here means that they increased or started a new position. So we could see a few different ones here, and then some maybe increased their position just a little bit the last few days. But the big one that we focus on here on this channel, because it's one of my favorites, is Vanguard. So on the 12th of February, it looks like they potentially increased their position. So if we open up their chart here, you can kind of see Vanguard. Look at their shares, guys. Shares held. You can multiply that by 1,000 in the y-axis, and the x-axis is time. So you can see here, they had a lot of shares. They sold off as time kind of went on, and now they've increased their position size, exponentially. Look at the graph. So again, even most recently here in February, because again, I'm thinking that they're going to be playing this one similar to how we're going to do it on, with the Your Pop team and the Your Pop channel. So again, pretty big important thing to kind of look at is what are insiders doing. Always when we're looking to buy a stock, we have to make sure we understand what are they doing. Because if they're all selling their positions, they probably know something that we don't. They have information that we're not really, able to find readily as retail investors. Also, the insider trading. Guys, and all that people are saying, why are their insiders not selling? We have 70% insider ownership, 14.09% float, and then insider shares, about 76 million shares of the 108 outstanding. So again, they did do the direct offering recently that just closed, as I mentioned. So as you can see here, they kind of mentioned on Zomedica intends to use the proceeds and the net proceeds from the offering for the continued development of its diagnostic platforms, plural, not just the true forma, rather even the ones that are currently on their pipeline, including making milestone payments, if any, as they come due, under its existing license and collaboration agreements for strategic acquisitions, if and when they become available, or the general corporate and working capital purposes, and may use a portion of the net proceeds to repurchase some of all its outstanding Series 1 preferred shares. So guys, again, this to me was a very smart move by this company. We could look at their price action and it's pretty obvious, even if we look at the 1 month. It's been on a ride, guys. Look at, if we just go back 6 months ago, August 2020. If you pull up the chart, to the point where approximately where they sold, they did sell it at $1.90 is what they set the direct offering at, but they're up 1,500%. That's a 15x in price since just in the last 6 months. So any company that has significant price action of their stock, especially something like this with such a low market cap of $2 billion, again, it's still considered a penny stock on micro cap because again, it is a tiny company, but it's growing substantially. But regardless, it makes sense for them to look for additional revenue to increase their cash on hand and cash flow although they didn't need it, as a previous statement was mentioned, they didn't anticipate a run up in price like this here. So again, they are still holding their shares strong, which is something that you and I can look at as, hey, this is kind of comforting, right? And again, not financial advice by any means, but I wanted to give everyone just a quick little spiel about float and insider ownership. So when float is much less than the total number of shares outstanding, it suggests that insiders and officers and employees own a large percentage of the stock. So again, when the float is much less than total number of outstanding shares. Now, if we go back to the insiders here, the float is 14% versus the total number of outstanding shares, 108 million. So 14% float versus 70% of total insider. So if we go back to the definition like I just mentioned, where is it? Right over here. But suggests that insiders and officers own a large percentage of the stock. So again, this is true for Zomedica. This is usually a good sign. Again, good sign, not financial advice, because you know that the insiders believe in the company and their interests lie with yours for the stock price to go up. So again, we're anticipating that Zomedica is going to do very well in the coming future. I mean, the recent future being that, in March, end of March with the True Forma launch. But even moving forward, we're anticipating that they're going to do very well because their product seems like it has a very solid background, solid fundamentals, and a very strong addressable market, very vast and strong, which is going to propel the stock to continue to move forward. So again, I just wanted to give you guys a quick touch on that. Again, this is finance.zax.com, which is just, I can link it below if you ever want to just learn about stock lingo and that kind of thing. But again, on the other hand, heavy insider selling can drive a stock down, or at least temporarily. So if Zomedica, the shareholders, the insiders, if they start selling, we know what's going to happen. It's going to potentially cause the stock to go down. But for right now, that's not the case. They're holding strong, as are a lot of us. And, again, I'm just hoping that we continue to see momentum moving forward. After this direct offering, after the bleeding week, we found some strong buying opportunities. I wish I got in at 213, but personally I got in at 221 because I thought that was a great entry point. So if it pulls back any lower than 221, you know what I'm doing, guys. I'm averaging down. So again, if you're not part of the 1K to 10K penny stock challenge, feel free to join us. It is, I'm updating my live picks on the Patreon, and I do daily. I'm going to continue doing daily uploads on progress day to day, especially on weekdays because weekends, obviously, the market is closed. So, guys, I hope that you've been doing really well with your trading week so far. Again, I know it was a red week overall. Hopefully, you held on tight and didn't panic sell because I always say, don't panic sell. Rather, buy the dips, especially if you're investing in companies you truly believe in long term. That's what you're going to do. You're going to be buying the dips. So, anyone that's panic sold, remind yourself and go back and think, why did I sell my shares? Why did I do that, knowing that potentially the market might rebound? Is it because you didn't believe in it long term? Is it because you didn't do your own due diligence on the company, like I always remind everyone to do? Guys, if any of you have answered yes to those questions, always look back and understand, why am I investing in these companies? Why am I putting my own money into it? And then from there, you can make the decision whether or not you want to jump back in if you see it dip even more. And of course, none of this is financial advice. I'm going to keep reiterating that because a lot of people are coming and asking me questions that, again, for me, I can't really answer, but I give you my opinion, just an opinionated answer there. So guys, feel free to join us on a Discord. And also, if you're interested in buying things in the pre-market, feel free to use my Webull link. You do get 2 free stocks when you deposit $100. So it is free to join at any time. Here's the Patreon. Shout out to everyone that's joined us, 122 members strong. And until next time, everybody, keep investing.